Meta 318 with a $5 super chat asks, what's the theory update on the Game Awards desert statue? Last theory I heard was it could be Saros or Returnal 2. Well, so for anybody not familiar, this is the desert statue being referenced. It was posted by Jeff Keighley last week, where he just kind of out of nowhere was like regal.inspiring.thickness. A weird cryptic thing. People saw it, immediately started saying it was like Diablo. Jez Corden was saying very confidently that it was Diablo, like a Diablo 4 expansion. That was debunked by Jason Schreier, who was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not Diablo. Because Jason Schreier reportedly knows what it is. And I have a theory. I've talked a bit about it, and it's not only my theory. Many people are on the same page. Jacob actually worked on convincing me with it. Jacob, if you're actually here, you could hop into the Discord and you could pitch it to us if you want. If you're busy, that's okay too, and I can give the rundown. But this was the statue. Yeah, it's Lego Batman. And it's an actual statue you can actually go out to. So you can actually go out there and find it in, I believe, New Mexico is where it's a map appears showing a location somewhere near Joshua Tree in California. King Vision did that and actually went out there. This is what it looks like. Okay. Mindful, demure. It is like a very well carved statue. Like, I don't know how much it costs to commission something like this, but bro, it's got to be a lot. Like, look at the detail on that. The pictures really don't do it justice. The video's better. I'm sure in person it's even more crazy. But you see, it's a very hellish, demonic thing. You see wolves, you see like this massive arm getting pulled down. You see the bear. There's multiple bears. There's also a serpent, a giant serpent wrapping around it as well. It's smoking and steaming. Like, dude, it is filled to the brim with detail. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Styrofoam, I don't know what it's carved out of. A lot of these types of things are, but I don't know, man. Whatever it is, it's well done. It's really well done. They even included a porta potty. They went all out, man. Apparently they do have it manned by staff. So I wonder if when he circles around, if you're able to see. So there's the car. Looks like almost a taxi maybe. But somebody else who visited said that staff was very tight-lipped about it. But you can see the big road going by in the distance right over here. You see the big road. So like, it's not that far off the road. If any of you guys go and visit it, you got to send us pictures in the Discord or tag me on Twitter. Because as far as I know, it's still out there. But this is it. This is it. So this is what Jeff tweeted out and what's been going viral. People trying to figure it out. And, shout out to, of course, King Vision 18 for posting this so we can all see it. Pretty insane. Now, let's be honest. The obvious thing is that it's going to be for like some stupid mobile game or something. It's just some company that was able to pay Jeff a fat stack, and that's what it is. I personally don't think it's that. I think it's actually from something we've all heard of, but I wouldn't blame people for being cynical.
809 donated $9.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you.
Hey Luke, we should thank Todd and trust him cause he brought me to your channel.
Praise
He's
be.
got plans and works in mysterious ways.
He does. And all we can do is put our trust in Todd that his detail shines upon us and gives us 16 times the detail. So what is it then? Well, so there's been a lot of discussion. You just got a sneak peek of what I've become convinced it is. But basically, the initial theory was Diablo 4. Jason Schreier said, no, it's not Diablo 4. You can see that's linked here, where he said, quote, no idea where Jez is getting that, but this statue is not teasing the Diablo 4 expansion. Quote, I don't currently plan on reporting what it is. Sorry, but it's a good one. So he's claiming he knows what it is, but he's not going to say that, which honestly, respect. I like having mystery. I don't like it when everything is leaked ahead of time. Like, I want there to be surprises, and I'm hoping we're reaching kind of out of this is naive of me, but I hope that we're reaching the age where we can start to enjoy mysteries again. And even when journalists discover something or hear from a source what something is, they let it be a mystery. Even though it would be good for Jason's business at Bloomberg to have the exclusive like scoop on what this is. But he has the scoop and is still not saying it, which I respect. I respect, honestly. But anyway, continuing on, the other theory after Diablo 4 was debunked by Jason Schreier and shut down. The other theories circled around like, oh, maybe it's for Path of Exile 2. And that's one people are still like kind of up in the air on. Maybe it's for Path of Exile 2. The other theory was that it was something God of War related, something God of Boy related. And there were all the images. We looked at them on stream where like they have the picture of the crocodile and they say, look, it looks kind of like the crocodile enemy in Ragnarok. And then they look at like, where's a shot of the serpent? Maybe from straight on, we can see it. Yeah, right here. So you can see this like serpent, and then up here it curls into the serpent's head at the very top. People were saying, oh, so this looks like Jormungandr, and so it's got to be that. So maybe it's like a spin-off. Maybe it's where Kratos goes to hell or something. I don't know. Other people said it looks like an Oblivion Gate, so maybe it's like DLC or something for the Oblivion remaster. But you know, who knows? The God of War thing, though, if you were here on stream on Monday, you were here for it, because as you can see, it's linked. As series director Cory Barlog confirmed himself, it's not the next God of War, and that was taken from the tweet I posted actually from stream, because Cory joins us every once in a while. Shout out Cory, and said, no, it's not GOW. But to be fair, he could have been talking about Gears of War. That would be freaking hilarious. Like, can you imagine if it is God of War and he's like, no, I said it wasn't Gears of War, dumbass. Nobody should ever listen to Luke ever again. That would, no joke, be freaking hilarious. But who knows? Personally, I don't think it's God of War, and I think a lot of it lands on this crocodile with the arm. So to sell us on the case of what this is, we're gonna bring Jacob in real quick before we do the podcast. Let me pull this up. We're gonna get Jacob in here. Hey Jake, can you hear me?
Yes I can. Sorry, I got 3 Lukes in my ears now. Hold on.
That's too many. If you guys don't know, Jacob, somehow you don't know, Jacob is our resident editor. He's also my brother. Notice how I said that second, Jacob.
That's true, yeah. And Elder Scrolls expert.
Yes. What is the case?
I don't know shit about it.
What is the case for this being, because our pitch is that this is Elder Scrolls Online, an expansion for that. What is the case for that?
Yes, so we've got all these lovely images of the statue. I made a little doc kind of compiling them. I can't really see what's going on stream right now, but let's start with, because the main thing you have to do with something like this is just take out any other games that you can. So the first thing we were looking at was that bear with the arms. There's a bear on the right side, if you're looking at it, right side of the statue, kind of coming out. Is it on the right? Yeah, kind of coming out with like a human arm. Do you see that?
Yeah, let me try. He circles the whole statue, so if I can get around and look at it. Okay, big bear with human arm looking thing. So I think this is the bear he's talking about.
Yeah, that guy. See grabbing onto the snake right there?
Yep.
That's the bear paw, as they say. Now
case closed.
So there's in Skyrim there's things called werebears, I think in one of the expansions or something, because my first instinct was just like look up something that had a game that had bears with hands. I was like, okay, Skyrim kind of works. So then I moved to the alligator, because there's that weird alligator on the bottom side of the statue where it's got a flat alligator head, but then you can see its arm right there. It's kind of coming down with the 4 claws and 4 fingers. Now, Luke, if you would please type in the word Daedroth into Google and pull up an image of one of those guys from the even just the Oblivion remake.
Squared off head, or snout, as some say. Some might say that. And then human-ish hands with claws. They've got that Mike Tyson build, no neck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Spinal.
Spinal.
It's spinal.
I broke my back.
That part looks good. If you also notice on that same side of the statue, if you wrap kind of back around the other side in that video, there's also similar spikes coming out of a back. If you can kind of see, there's like a, yeah, it's kind of up above that actually. Now that I'm looking at it, there's like a guy with his head with like a snake thing going into it or something on the right hand side of the statue. Let's see.
On the right side, okay. Yeah, these like spiky things.
Yeah, there's one shot that has like, oh yeah, there on the left side of the screen now, you can see the big spikes coming out of that one
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Over there's similar spikes and stuff like that. And then we also had like for the zombies and stuff, there are the Draugrs or whatever the hell they're called in Skyrim, the like guys you find in all the dungeons and stuff like that. But the real kicker, the real thing we're building towards, was we were trying to find something that looked similar, and there were some people on Reddit who had mentioned the name Vaermina, Vaermina. And if you'll go ahead and type that in, Luke, and then pillar statue ESO, we'll get our first little extra similarity selling this ESO theory.
This thing?
So yeah, that's her. That's her. She's got the snakes. As you know, there's a big snake wrapping around the statue and stuff like that. That kind of fits. She's they are whatever, because it's a genderless god. They're the god of dreams and nightmares and love. Wait, there's one with circled snakes on it. That's great.
In case it wasn't clear, snakes.
These are actually snakes. In case and the thing on the ground there, circle the ground. That's the ground.
This is fabric. This is rock.
But anyways, they're the prince or whatever. It was really unclear because I don't know
Prince of
anything about
Darkness.
Elder Scrolls, and I'm trying to ring about like gods and shit, being like, oh, okay, I have no clue.
Sure.
But but I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, if you look Vaermina pillar from ESO, I think is what it is. Let me see if I can't just get you a picture.
Pillar. This thing. Oh, this thing.
Pillar. It's like a housing option, like a house decoration.
Okay, this might be.
Yeah,
it.
see right there, the one with like the purple accents.
Yeah. This
see, it has
thing.
like the similar. It has the similar guys popping out of it, and then down towards the bottom of it, there's this circular orb thing.
Yeah, and if we compare that to the statue, I mean, it certainly is a similar vibe with like a what seems to be a door or a central crack, as it's technically called, and then like demons climbing and crawling out of it.
Well, so here's what so some of this comes from our brother Ben, because he understands Elder Scrolls things and I do not. I don't know how well versed in Elder Scrolls you are, Luke, but I don't know really anything about it. The way he was breaking it down, because he loves Oblivion, so I was like, what would this have to do with an Oblivion gate? It doesn't look a thing like it. He was like, well, you get the stone sigil. God, I wrote all this stuff down, I should remember the name of it. You get a sigil thing, a sigil stone, and you seal up your Oblivion gate or whatever, and that does it. So when I showed him this picture for the first time, just with the big glowing thing, like the default Kotaku image of the statue, he was like, oh yeah, that looks like an Oblivion gate that has been sealed, and that's like the explosion coming off of it is how he interpreted like the spider claws coming off the side. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. I wouldn't jump right to that. But then as we started walking through everything, I was like, oh yeah, what if this is like a visual representation of an Oblivion gate being sealed, holding back all this evil in Oblivion? And then of course those gods, Vaermina, they live in the realm of Oblivion or whatever. Specifically, this is true, by the way, this isn't me joking. Vaermina lives in a place called Quagmire. Like the Family Guy.
So we're finally getting the Family Guy crossover.
I think it's going to be a Family Guy crossover with the Elder Scrolls Online, where you get to play as one of 3 members of the Griffin family.
Which 3?
Bart, Lois, and Stewie.
Okay, I'm playing as Bart. People were asking, why did anybody even think it was God of War? It's literally like this armor down here. So like you see these little like plated armors. There is an outfit in God of War Ragnarok that looks vaguely like this. It doesn't actually look exactly like this. The straps overlap each other, which this doesn't. This is like shelled plating stacked on top of itself. So they're not the same armor, but people said, if I squint, it looks similar, and so that's what they were going with. And the fact that there's a bear and Atreus can turn into a bear, that was the main reasons. And then there's a snake. But I think that it does give me strong Oblivion Gate vibes. But there is a point I heard somebody mention, which is, hasn't ESO ended big expansions, or at least have they communicated that? Is there any information about that?
Yeah, so that's part of what kind of throws a wrench in some of this is in I think 2023 or something was their last big expansion thing where they were doing it like by chapters. They're not doing chapters anymore. They're doing like seasonal stuff. So like there's been rumors about like where they go next for Elder Scrolls Online. It could be that they like have decided now they're going to do some big tie-in like with mainline Bethesda studios or something, because there's been talks about bringing Skyrim into the game, specifically like visiting like Dawnstar, which is where that Viramina character is from that we've been talking about, or at least she has a quest there in Skyrim. So there's like some stuff like that, but it is true that they have decided to at least kind of in concept scale back their updates in a way. And I feel like dropping a giant statue in the desert to tease your small update doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Yeah, the amount of effort they're putting in here seems very high, because not only is it like, I'm sure, ungodly expensive to have something like this commissioned by a very talented sculptor, it seems, but also just as like a practical matter, they're also paying not just Jeff Keighley but the Game Awards to promote it, which is, I'm sure, expensive. So I mean, that's why some people were like, yeah, it's going to be a mobile game, because who else would have the money to do it? I don't know. So I do think that this is probably for something bigger than like a, you know, a small indie game, or some people were saying it's going to be like you know, I don't know, just an update to some like Genshin Impact style game, you know. But I don't personally see that. I see this as being much higher effort, and the fact that Jason Schreier said that it was something cool, that makes me think that this is probably something a little bit more large scale and recognizable. Now, Jacob and I were talking about this a little bit, because if we go with it, because there's clearly similarities between previous designs in Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, previous designs in ESO, like there's similarities there. It also kind of matches roughly the gate. People also, one of you guys in chat mentioned the Deirdrick Siege machine, which you can see some pictures of it, which at least resembles the same spires as from Warcraft. It could be Warcraft related. It's also like within here, like, who knows? This is from within, like, oh, look at this. This is cool. It archived. Damn it. It was archived.
No.
The picture shows up on Google, but it's not archived. Okay. I don't know how that works. But anyway, so you see this here within the Elder Scrolls Reddit. Like, there's all sorts of things it could be. But I think if we go along the vibe of this is Elder Scrolls adjacent, at least, it makes me think that either it is like an update or a reworking of Elder Scrolls Online, and it's going to be that they're actually going back and doing big expansion again, and this is going to be the big expansion. It could be that it's also like a hybrid. I don't know what that would look like, but a hybrid, like where BGS is working with them on something, because like we know that BGS has been working pretty hard to become like a live service studio as well. Are they starting to pick up some of the mantle on this? Because this also, I mean, we know BGS goes hard when it comes to marketing. Could they have something to do with this? I'm not sure. Maybe it's a hybrid thing with Elder Scrolls 6. Maybe it's just going to be another trailer. What I heard some people saying was they were like, I think that this is going to be ES6 because Xbox wants something to like have some positive news this year, which they've not really had.
$9.99
Cheetah
for
sent a super chat. Thank you. It's going to read
Can
it.
someone explain why ESO would have power lines in a porta potty in this reveal?
That's a good question.
Can we please use our big brain here? Lol, am I the only one seeing this?
Yeah, so the question, Jacob, is why would they have power lines in a porta potty if this was Elder Scrolls Online? That's a great question.
That is a good point, because most Bethesda fans are either in diapers or forced to wear diapers.
Jacob, that's me.
What? Okay, sorry. I like Bethesda games. I'm goofing. I'm joking.
That's funny.
No, can I say the response to the like Elder Scrolls 6 thing? Like, I think it's gonna be Elder Scrolls 6. Can I say the thing?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Okay.
There
That's
you
all I
go.
wanted to do.
Boom, shut down. I think like if it's a trailer or something, imagine if they're doing all this to drop another trailer for a game that's still like 3 years away. I wouldn't put it
Yeah,
past
that's
them.
demented. That doesn't make any sense.
But like I think more likely there is a game in the Elder Scrolls universe that's already out. This would be freaking hilarious. It could be that they're gonna launch. There's been a rumor of like another mobile game in production somewhere within the ZeniMax BGS hierarchy, and there's rumors that it could be an Elder Scrolls mobile game, another one. And so it would be really funny if they were doing all of this for a mobile game. But I think personally, expectations should be low because almost certainly this is not going to be what you want it to be. Okay, so that's
a very good way of putting it, Luke.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, some people were saying maybe it's going to be a celebration of the Oblivion remaster. Like, no matter what it is, I like, even if it's the Elder Scrolls trailer, it's still like 3 years away. Okay, like it's going to be a trailer to talk about for 3 years until the game comes out. So I just personally would not get my hopes up a ton. Oblivion on Switch 2, dude, if it's just an announcement for a port, that would be hilarious. But that's the thing, is like, this is so high effort and so expensive. I can't imagine it's just for something small like that. But Diablo Immortals 2. Okay, this time we know you all have phones. We know for a fact.
Well, yeah, so I guess as far as Elder Scrolls is concerned, it would either have to be, because there's no way on earth it's Elder Scrolls 6, it would either have to be Elder Scrolls Online expansion, which doesn't really make sense based on what they're doing, mobile game of some sort, which would kind of stink, or Oblivion remake secret DLC or something, which I don't think makes a ton of sense either. So it seems like we're leaning mobile game here.
Concord 2. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Black Ops 7 update. I think it's probably just going to be something that goes, oh. I know that Saros, it could be, based on the one trailer we have for Saros, it doesn't seem to have a lot of the same monster designs as we see in this. So it's possible
it could be a
Saros.
bear on an alien planet, even if it did have hands, or an alligator or a big snake, you know?
Yeah. Ashes of Creation is releasing the same date as the Game Awards. Picks of the same, or game give the same vibes as the statue. That could be it.
Yo, what if? That could be. I'm looking at it now.
Demons, horned demons, bro, you might not be wrong.
Now, don't get mad at me for saying what I'm about to say, given I have never seen this video game before that I'm looking at right here.
I mean, dude,
this looks like butt, dude.
Jacob. I will say horned demons. There's a lot of horned demons in there. It could be Ashes of Creation. But it goes back to what I said. It almost certainly is not what you want it to be. So let's just keep expectations low.
Expert
you know?
donated
Another super chat. Thank you. And then we'll get Jor in here.
Super chat.
Thank you.
Is it too early for ID Software to announce their next game? Maybe Quake?
Is it too early for id to announce their next game? No, I don't think they will, though. I think they'll take more time, but because I think most people would agree Doom, the Dark Ages, could have used some more time, like just in probably pre-production, just for some fresh content, some fresh ideas. But I wouldn't guess that they're going to do that. Ashes of Creation don't have money like that. They were a Kickstarter game. That's a good point. That's a very good counter. It's like they don't have the money, because whatever this is probably pretty expensive. So who knows? Either way, whatever this game is, they've managed to capture the hearts and minds of a lot of people, and we're all going to be watching very closely. But I'd bet you that probably when it's revealed, you know, Jeff's going to get up there and be like, some of you may have heard about a statue that was in the California desert. Well, this next trailer is what that was referencing. And then he plays it and it's going to be like, oh, okay. And
it's Cooking Mama 3.
Or somebody in chat the other day said it's probably like a goat simulator. You know how they just go unhinged with like the insane trailers.
I would love for it to be Goat Simulator. And when I told that to my brother Ben, our brother Ben, I should say, our brother Ben who likes Elder Scrolls, because he thought it was Elder Scrolls 6, like almost immediately just looking at it. He looked at me and was like, it better not be that. I was like, oh, okay. Those were his exact words, but I could tell that being the case would harm his soul.
That
in
would
some
hurt.
way.
Well, that's the thing is, like, these types of marketing campaigns are really high risk, high reward, but because like it's captivated everybody's attention. Everybody's going to be listening to figure out what this was for. But I do think a lot of people are, even if it's something that they're going to be interested in, they're going to be like, oh, it's not God of War. Corey said it wasn't, but I think he was trying to divert my expectations and subvert them. And so I think it actually is God of War, which is something we're seeing now. Like in the replies to my post about it, there were people saying, well, you know, he also said God of War, never heard of it, in response to another person. So I think it's probably the case that he's actually messing with us and it actually is God of War. I was like, bro, he's literally saying it's not. And you're like, so you mean it is? Like, it's so stupid. But anyway, new Shadow of Mordor. Don't get my hopes up. No, I don't think so. It doesn't give that vibe either. If there were orcs, we'd be talking.
The studio's dead.
Yeah, the studio died.
Well, there are some things that look kind of like orcs in the mess of things, but we don't have to dive back into it because I know it's almost podcast time. But yes, it is confirmed. Yep, we still don't know. Sorry, I don't know why it's confirmed.
It's confirmed. We don't have a confirmation.
It is. I'm just getting word now. Yes.
The other piece,
there's nothing to report.
I heard somebody say it's going to be like an avowed expansion or something. And they're going to make like their own Oblivion, basically, which would be quite funny. But we'll see. Warcraft, it could be Warcraft. I've heard people mention that. I mean, Blizzard would have the money. Like Blizzard would have the money to do something like this.
Maybe we can ask our World of Warcraft friend, because he's into that new I didn't even know there was a new like expansion or something thing, but he was telling me last night something's happening in Warcraft that I don't know.
Oh, really?
About.
Oh, we should ask him. He can hop on stream. It's something new. Power lines, trucks driving in the background, porta potties. Y'all are focusing on the statue too much.
Oh my god, it's for American Truck Sim. I knew it.
Yeah, exactly. It's for the hell expansion.
Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque.
Alex, so you can drive through hell.
The portal is in Albuquerque. Okay, well, thank you, Jacob. We'll get Jor on here to talk some games. Thank you, my friend.
Right on. Bye-bye.
Much love. He took my thing.